I want to thank everybody for being here. Coach Conk is at the Little Rock Club, so he asked, excuse me, Coach Hollingsworth and I to talk a little bit about the game this week and our upcoming opponents and everything. I want to congratulate and Coach McFatchard and his staff. You guys have done a phenomenal job, and I wish you guys the best of luck with the rest of your guys' season as well too. Obviously, we didn't come out and play very well on the Stripes. We received our first loss on the Stripes. Very disappointed with as a staff and as our players. They're pretty didn't feel very good after the game. So what I want to talk about a little bit today is there were some positive things that came out. I thought special teams wise, I thought that we did very, very well in there. We had some really good things that happened with that. We had Jatavius Wilson, who's a true freshman this year, has done a lot of special things, had a couple big returns, Dylan Winfrey, but our special teams played well. I thought one of the other things that Coach Hollingsworth will talk about as well too is our offense came out on fire. It was awesome to watch them just come out and just make things happen. Winrick played really well. We rushed the ball really well. Coach Hollingsworth will talk about that. The very disappointing thing was obviously with me. As me being the defensive coordinator, I was very disappointed with our performance on defense. I thought up to this game that we played fairly well on defense, did some really good things. Our kids were playing hard, energetic, had some really good things happen, and we just came out and just played very, very flat. I was very disappointed. We didn't tackle very well. Had a lot of missed assignments. We'd had kids in the right positions. We made the right calls. Kids just didn't make the plays. They didn't get where they're supposed to be. We had guys that were supposed to be in their gaps here. We had guys that were supposed to make tackles. When you lose your fundamentals of tackling with your head down, not wrapping up, running your feet through, you're supposed to be in this gap. I'm supposed to be in that gap. I'm supposed to stay on top in this responsibility. Some bad things happen. We got the University of Kearney coming up. That's a team that will be playing this weekend. It's a Division II program, just like we used to be a few years ago. And they are 1-4 right now, but they had a big win this past weekend. They played Lindenwood University, which is in St. Charles, Missouri, actually my hometown, where I grew up. But they ended up beating Lindenwood University 56-6. They have a lot of, they've got some shorter, smaller, very talented players on offense. Their offensive line is very good. They're defensively, Coach Hollingsworth can tell you a little bit more, but I know they're a base defense, four-down defense that plays really hard and physical. But the big thing is we're going to get right again. We're very upset as a staff. Our kids are upset. We're determined. We're going to turn this thing around. We're not going to let last week affect us at all. We're moving on to this next week, and we're going to get back on the Stripes and start that winning tradition again on the Stripes, and we're going to hold that thing again as well too.
We've kind of been, I don't know, not very good on offense, and then this past game we actually started doing some things. We changed a little bit of philosophy. We speeded up the game. Before we've been getting about 70 plays a game. This last game we ran 106 plays. 106 plays. We had 36 rushes, 146 yards. We've been averaging 60 yards a game in rushing. And we threw it 70 times, and that wasn't good, but we had to. And we threw for 498 yards. So out of 106 plays, we had 644 total yards. That's the good news. Here's the bad news. We had 3 turnovers. And that's been kind of plaguing us for a little while. We've had 9 interceptions this year, and I can't put my finger on it either. I scratch my head, just like this past game. We had a chance to go up. We had a 14-point swing. We're on the 2-yard line, and we threw an interception. But 9 interceptions this year, and let me tell you something. Winrick is having a heck of a year, but he's got 9 interceptions. Well, 3 of them have been his fault. Pretty well a typical thing of what happened this past Saturday has been kind of happening to us this year. He had one interception that was his fault this year, or this past game, and that was on the 2-yard line, throwing the ball when you're falling down. That was his fault. The other 2, one was a tip pass, and the other one had a man in his chest when he was throwing it. And that's kind of been our situation, bad karma. Maybe we had too much karma last year, winning some games in the last minute, and it's catching up with us. I don't know.